Oh, Kodaka. Oh, Kodaka, I love you so much. It's so good to have you back, my boy. With that said, hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, hi, how's it going? My name is JoJo. I talk about seasonal anime here on this channel, and today we're going to be talking all about Akudama Drive's premiere, Episode 1, titled 7. But before we get into it, quick reminder, hit that sub button. We're trying to get to 25k before the end of the year. It's going to be close, so if you haven't done so yet, hit that sub button, and do not forget to ring that bell. Let all of AniTube know you're here. Let the bell ring out. But with that said, what do you say we go ahead and dig into this week's premiere, shall we? And yeah, if you don't know, Kodaka is the dude who made Danganronpa, and this, if you didn't know, is the Danganronpa anime that we actually deserved. It is phenomenal. Oh my god, I am incredibly relieved. I was nervous. I was very nervous going into this, and I mean, I feel like I had every right to be nervous. Go ahead and check the studio, and then you come back and try to tell me that, nah, I shouldn't have been nervous. It's Piero. I was hella nervous. I watched them destroy the only manga I ever read, and like, yeah, nah, that was unpleasant. And, but here we are, with Akudama Drive, and Piero actually gets a W. I'm impressed, although I'm not really giving it to Piero, if I'm honest. I mostly handed this one over to Kodaka, because my man be making basically Danganronpa, but without the killing game, which shouldn't work, but it totally does. And if you don't believe me that there are Danganronpa vibes all over this thing, allow me to dig into some of those vibes with you, shall we? Let's just grab our notes here. Immediately, the character designs. The character designs are very much Danganronpa, and there is a darn good reason for that. And that's because Komatsuzaki, the original character designer for the Danganronpa games, as well as other projects with Kodaka, is the one doing the original character designs for this series. They were later adapted by a different character designer into the anime, but it is his designs through and through, and you can very much see that. It's basically just the usual Danganronpa-y designs with a sort of modern flair. There's a certain differentness to these specific designs. I almost think they're somehow sharper than normal, and they work, especially for this setting. It really works having the old Danganronpa style in here. Not even just with the characters, but also like the backgrounds themselves. And by the way, the backgrounds are also very Danganronpa. From like just the post-apocalyptic feel of everything, even though it's not post-apocalyptic, but it certainly feels that way. But also the way that the backgrounds change, the transitions between scenes is very Danganronpa. If you don't remember, or maybe you haven't played, in Danganronpa, the way that scenes would transition would be that the background would sort of like move apart, and then the new background would piece itself back together, and then the characters would plop down. And while the characters don't plop down into the different settings, the backgrounds do move and shift until you get to the new background that you're supposed to get, right? Like, say, like the skyline would drop down, and then like different buildings would pop in from the left and the bottom and the right and sort of fill in the screen until the scene starts to play out. That's what you get here. And it feels very Danganronpa. This felt like they were... I feel like if you never played Danganronpa, you would still enjoy this, but I feel like if you did play Danganronpa and you dove in, it would feel incredibly like exciting to see these different transitions and see these characters play out. But it's not just visual. Again, the transitions, very Danganronpa, the designs, very Danganronpa, but that's not all there is. There's also the mere fact that even the way the world is set up, it's very Danganronpa-y. And what do I mean by that? Well, think about it. You have a group of characters who excel in very specific areas, who are, with one seemingly normal person sort of leading the plot, and they are drawn together against their will into some sort of shenanigans, right? And that's basically what you get here, especially by the end of the episode with the whole collars thing. They are forced into this situation, like forced to play some sort of game or forced into some sort of situation. I saw some people saying Suicide Squad, but those people be uneducated in the greatness that is Danganronpa, although Suicide Squad is also a very good call. But still, you know what I mean? It's Suicide Squad meets Danganronpa. And how the hell would that not get you excited? It's legitimately, like, the fact that they're all, like, very, like, characters who excel in very specific situations. You may as well have called these people super high school level courier, super high school level brawler, you know what I mean? Like, it fits. Although here, instead of being super high school level blank or ultimate blanks, they are Akudama. They are the Akudama, basically just a group of delinquents. And they are basically sort of, kind of like the way pirates are in One Piece, you know what I mean? Where it's like pirates are seen as sort of like these otherworldly beings. They have like insane power, like the common folk sort of like fear them, but they can also maybe be like a boon or a benefit depending, and they sort of flaunt their sentences, right? But in One Piece, instead of like having like sentences, right? Like sentenced to 900 years plus in prison. In One Piece, it's more of like bounties, like how high your bounty is. In Akudama Drive, it seems to be more how long were you sentenced for. It seems to be like what you would flaunt. But that's not the end of the Danganronpa vibes. No. You also have a cute mascot who's probably up to some nefarious stuff. Because let's be real, that cat is probably going to be our Monokuma, and I'm pretty much excited for it. Not even pretty much, I'm very excited for it. Monokuma but a cat? Hell yes, thank you very much. I'm down, and I'm excited to see what they do with the cat. First of all, that cat is adorable. And I love that our main girl Swindler, as I'll be calling her until she gets a different name, our main girl Swindler is the one who like hangs out with this cat and keeps it company until the very end, where it's like the cat is revealed to be Monokuma. Yeah, I'm interested. I'm very interested. And just the general attitude of the series. Danganronpa has this very specific attitude that I just love. Like, it's irreverently goofy and it's like just I don't want to say over the top, but it is. And I don't want to say edgy, but it is, and it revels in it, you know what I mean? Like, Danganronpa knows that it's your trash, and it knows that you love that trash, and it just runs with it. And that's part of the fun of Danganronpa, right? And Akudama Drive seems to be doing the exact same thing. It knows what it is, and it plays right into it, and it does so expertly. And even, like, some of the animation in here, like, there's a lot of 3D CG. I didn't care, because seeing Courier, like, fly around on the bike was hella cool, like latching onto things, like he's driving the friggin' Bat Cycle from the Nolan movies. You got Brawler, like, whooping, like, the ass of all these police bots, and just, like, Hacker flying around on stuff. It's hella cool, dude. It's very, very cool. Again, it's got that Danganronpa flair. There's something about it that just knows what it is unapologetic, and I love that. And they absolutely nailed it. Another thing they also nailed too is the setting, like in general. Again, I said that the setting feels very Danganronpa. It also has this sort of cyberpunky feel to it, and actually it sort of makes me feel like this is maybe what Gohan's was trying to go for when they made stuff like Handshakers or W's. The only difference here being that, this doesn't make me want to gouge my eyes out like Gohan's projects do. I haven't seen K-Project, don't even come for me. But, like, with Handshakers and W's, all, like, this added flair of, like, background details, and just, like, it feels like those old GIFs from, like early era internet. You know what I mean? Like, it looked like that shit. It sort of feels like this is what Gohan's was trying to do. But Akudama Drive actually succeeds. It's just filled with, like, these neon signs or, like, these neon ads, and it drenches the city in this sort of, like, neon tinge. But it's also, like, it's very cyberpunk in the sense that, like, the technology is there, right? Like, you feel like, wow, like, look how cool the tech is in this world. But it's Kansai, like, littered with ads and covered in smog, and crime is clearly at an all-time high. And so the tech is very cool, but it almost feels very, like, Akira-y, you know what I mean? Like, it feels like the world has gone to Akira, you know what I mean? And Courier seems to dig that. I saw that man slide. He is feeling himself like some Kaneda vibes, and I'm here for it. But again, it's very cyberpunky. Like, it feels like the world has gone to hell. Technology has, like, made it so that, like, the sky is covered in smog. There's ads everywhere. Neon is, like, drenching the city, and it just feels very cool. And it's a good time for this to release since Cyberpunk's coming out, I don't know, soon. I really loved it. I don't know if you can tell. Like, I loved the Danganronpa feel. I love the setting. And I really like the characters as well. And there's a lot of characters to like here. Now, the character that I'm going to focus on, though, is RMC, Swindler, as I'll call her until she gets a different name. I've seen it online that she's actually going to be called Civilian, but I don't know if that's, like, for now, or if that was just, like, a placeholder, or if they're going to stick with Swindler, or if maybe, like, her name changes into Civilian later. For now, I'll call her Swindler. And Swindler she's like our Hajime, or Naegi, as I said. Like, she's our MC that's going to sort of, like, carry us through this crazy, insane plot. And the only thing missing is she doesn't have, like, the pointy-ass hair. You know what I mean? Her hair is more sort of, like, actually kind of reminds me of, like, Ibuki's hair, you know? Like, it's only not as insane. Like, it's like it's like Ibuki's hair when it's all down, right? When it doesn't have all, like, the crazy styling to it. It's just long black hair with some pink highlights on the front. And the pink highlights also match the pink eye color as well. Swindler has pink highlights and pink hair. Pink is probably the identifier for the character. She has like mostly pink ensemble. Pink eyes, pink hair, pink boots, and pink within her sort of like white outfit. So pink is easily like the most identifiable factor for the character. And pink is a color, I've said this before, I'll say it again, pink is usually the youngest of the colors, and and being the quote-unquote youngest of the colors, it basically just means that it is inexperienced, it's a bit youthful, it has that youthful energy and that youthful vibe, and with that comes a sense of kindness, and we definitely see that within the character. She is very sweet. You know, like, she goes out of her way to protect the cat, stuff like that. She goes out of her way to try to return couriers money, stuff like that. We do see that within the character. But the other thing that we see is her inexperience, right? She's not really prepared for the world that she has accidentally stepped into. And she definitely has that Naegi luck, where it's supposedly luck, but it feels more like bad luck that keeps tricking her into bad situations. But maybe much like Naegi and Hajime, that quote-unquote bad luck is going to pay off by saving most of these people. Who knows? I certainly hope so, because I like this cast a lot already. Also, her main outfit, right? It's got white with light pink in it. And again, I feel like that's sort of echoing the inexperience, but the white also definitely indicates, like, when you see this character, she is innocent. She's unprepared for the situation she is walking into, but the white in the outfit shows you that she is innocent, you know, like, she is a sweet character who gets roped into this through misunderstanding, and it's funny to see her sort of bounce off the other characters. But it also, I like that she is also, like, clever enough to think, like, oh, I'm actually not just a regular person, I'm a swindler, right? Because they call her a swindler earlier, and she's like, yeah, that's me, I'm not on the register. I swindled my way out of it. I never ended up on the Akudama list. And they're like, that's insane. Like, no way. And I like that Brawler's like, cool, fight me. I'm probably going to talk about Brawler next because I loved that character. For me, it's Brawler, Courier, and Swindler as my favorites. But yeah, I really, really loved this main cast. But I like that Swindler is smart, you know? Like, she thinks on her toes, like, she's able to get herself out of situations using her mind. She is actually, like, kind of, like, clever in the way that a swindler would have to be. Like, even when Courier's about to get hurt, when he's about to get got by that big-ass, like, freaky machine that looks like the machines from the Matrix, she's like, hey, there's an Akudama over here, and points at, I can't remember what his name is now. I think they just called him, like, Hoodlum or something, like, just, like, this, like, random Hoodlum dude whose, like, only sentence was, like 4 years. I think they called him, like, a D-rank Akudama. She, like, points at him, and the thing fires but hits, like, a box and launches a rocket at it. And it's like, that was really clever, and I like that she was able to think her way out of it. But she does get sort of dragged into I don't think it's going to be a killing game, but she does get dragged into whatever the main force, the driving narrative of Akudama Drive, whatever the driving force is going to be, she finds herself stuck in it. And I think her role is going to be, like, to, like, melt the sort of icy exterior that a lot of these characters have, while also showing them, like, how civilian lives might be affected by what they're doing, and also, like, being the smart one, like, figuring out ways to get out of this. Obviously, Hacker is also probably gonna play a big role in like being the brains of the operation, but I think she's gonna be like the clever one who like somehow manages to find her way out of like really dangerous situations. And I have to assume is also going to realize that maybe she might actually be cut out for Akudama life after all. She might be inexperienced, but maybe she learns to get really good at it. I don't know. But what I do know is I friggin' loved this premiere. Thank God. There have been some pretty rough premieres this season. Honestly, autumn season in general is doing me a concern, but Akudama Drive, thank every anime deity there is, turned out to be really good. And I cannot thank the team behind this enough. So with that said, everybody, that is going to wrap up today's video. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to boop that up snoot and share if you care. And of course, as always, I have to give a big thank you to the good folks in the T Squadron. Look at these beautiful people. Look at all these beautiful names. And hey, if you would like to join these beautiful people, there are now 2 ways to do so. The first is by hitting that first link in the description to check out our Patreon page, and the second option for just a wee bit more is by hitting that join button next to the sub button. Get yourself a badge next to your name, some emotes to spam in the comments and premieres, and if that sounds cool to you, then that is a big way to help out this channel, and of course you get your name at the end of these videos as well. It's a huge way to help out the channel. Consider hitting that join button. I'd appreciate it. With that said, everybody, I'm getting all nostalgic. I might go replay a bit of Danganronpa. I really want to play Danganronpa again. Maybe we'll do that on the Twitch page at some point. That's also linked in the description. But yeah, I'm all nostalgic for Danganronpa now. Also, I made some Danganronpa like Hogwarts house sorting hat videos in the past, so if you want to check those out as well, they're on the channel. Check the bonus playlist. Yeah, so yeah, if you want more Danganronpa content from me, that's a good place. And I'm definitely gonna be covering Akudama Drive as we go forward. But yeah, until next time, you stay classy, AnyTube. Wash your dang hands.